Hey guys, so we are going to talk about writing and graphing equations of circles. So you can see that we have the standard form of a circle here, and x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. I want you to notice a few things about the equation. One, we have two squared variables, x squared and y squared. That's different from parabolas. In parabolas, we only had x squared or y squared. Something else that we have is addition. So there's going to be addition separating your two squared variables. And that's going to become important as we move throughout the chapter. Now, when we're looking at this, we have two important characteristics based off the equation. And you only need two things in order to graph a circle. So you need the center. The center is found just like the vertex in a parabola. The x goes with the h, the y goes with the k. So when we're finding our center is going to be h, k. So remember that you're going to take the opposite sign of what you see. And then you also need your radius. Remember that a radius, if I sketch a circle, don't mind my off circle there, but if we have this circle at the center, remember that your radius is the distance from the center of your circle to any point on the circle. And every single radius in your circle should be the same value. So your radius shown in your equation is r squared. To find the radius, you'll take the square root of r squared to just get r. Now, since we are talking about a distance, we will always take the positive value of that. Now, if you take a look at the two equations I've written down, x squared plus y squared equals 36, and x squared over 36 plus y squared over 36 equals to 1. Now, those both represent circles. They both have two variables that are squared, and they have addition. Now, we're going to talk about something called ellipse tomorrow, but I want you to just take note that you're going to have a circle if you have fractions, if you have denominators, you still have a circle as long as these values are the same, because that's the distance that you're moving from your center. And you're moving from your center the same distance always when you have a circle, because your radius is the same value in all directions. All right, so let's go ahead and look at example 1a. Now, before you start trying to graph a circle, first thing you want to do is put this in standard form. Now, I'm going to know that this is a circle for two reasons. One, if I were to move this 2y squared over to the same side as the x squared, so if I add that 2y squared over, now I have 2x squared plus 2y squared minus 36 equals 0. We can go ahead and move that 36 over now to the right-hand side, and we'll have 2x squared plus 2y squared equals 36. So I know that this is a I know that this is a circle because I have x squared, I have y squared, and I have addition separating them. Now I also know it's a circle because the coefficients are the same. That's helping me identify that my radius is going the same amount in each direction. Now we cannot graph it like this just yet. We have to have the coefficients of the squared terms equaling 1. So I'm going to go ahead and divide everything by 2 here. So I'm going to have the equation x squared plus y squared equals 18. So now I can see that circle formula bright and clear. I am going to hopefully recognize that my center is going to be at 0, 0. So I'm going to know that my center is at 0, 0 because if we go back to that original formula, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, that's going to tell me that there's no parentheses. There are no h and k values. So if there's nothing there, it's going to be 0. I don't know what that is. Sorry. So now we have to figure out what our r is. Keep in mind that the formula gives you r squared. So we know that r squared equals 18, which means we're just going to take the square root, and we'll know that now r equals about 4.2. So when you're rounding, just go ahead and round to the nearest tenth, because graphing, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between 4.2 and 4.23 or whatever the answer is. So you're going to want to go ahead and draw the center dot there, and then 4.2. So I'm going to go in all four directions, and the easiest way to go is just up 4.2. 1, 2, 3, 4.2. Down 4.2. To the right. And to the left. And I know those dots are kind of small. And then you want to do your best to draw a circle. These are not going to be pretty, guys. We don't expect them to be pretty. You're not a computer, neither am I. Just do your best to draw a circle. And there we go. A centered circle at 0, 0 with a radius of 4.2. So our next graphing example is going to be a circle, and we can tell that this equation is a circle. Again, we have two squared variables, x squared and y squared, separated by addition, and they're equal to 9. So it's in that x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared format already. We don't have to do any manipulating. So the first thing we're going to do is identify our center. So my center will be at 2, 4. And that's just coming from the x minus 2 is going to give me a positive 2, and the y minus 4 is going to give me a positive 4. Then my radius is going to be the square root of 9. Don't forget to take the square root, and that's a nice pretty number of 3. So now we're going to go ahead and graph, starting with our center. So from the origin to the right 2 and up 4. And then we're going to go in every direction 3 units. So up 3, down 3, to the right 3, and to the left 3. And remember, we said these aren't going to be pretty. Do your best. Voila, we're done.